down 5 HP. Mummy's on site with a full boat, but he's got to be careful as the drone comes through. Look at the damage that's being dealt. Mummy somehow still alive. Has to go to the sidearm as he's down out of ammo. And there it is. Cloud9 make it work. It starts with the shotgun. As they make their way out onto the site. The Killjoy with the opening kill. Not something you say all that often. And it's a follow-up for Mitch as well. He's making the frenzy look wonderful as he continues this relentless assault. Gets spammed, and Mitch has now found 4. He wants the ace, but Shinobi says, well, come on, man, I gotta at least get 1. Play, net success. There's a nice nade coming in.
30 seconds left.
Force one up onto the bench. The Kench bench doesn't provide any safety, but Food is there to gobble up 10. And now Food has to worry about them pushing through. Can step into his own flames, obviously, to try and grab up that Bulldog that's waiting. He's trying to, but that rifle is being guarded as if it's made out of pure gold. Over to the B site, just might spot the spike as it comes around the corner. No! The timing at least initially worked out for B, but now the time is continuing to be a problem. They may have just lost this round because they couldn't get the spike onto the site. Remember, we mentioned it. Time is so problematic for them. Tens has to go big. No! Tens gets a nice lockdown. And you can see some damage being dealt there as well to Food, who's trying to spam through the wall. They're trying to take out that Killjoy ult. And they actually do have a player who's trapped in it. Food trying to get away, ends up getting gunned down. There's also a Nano Swarm in position.
One player remaining.
Yet again, Envy looks soft as Tens is popping off. So you see Tens pop off and be like, oh yeah, so Tens is friends. Well, you don't know. When they were Tens and friends, they managed to scrape by a few big wins, but they've been consistently performing. I think it's about time we finally give them the respect they're due. Tens does get a kill on the round before getting taken down by Mame.
The right timing on his own jiggle peak to try to fight back against the opponent trying to rotate. So just little things like that seems to work out for them. But now that Envy has money in the bank, this is where things started shining for Mame with the operator. And Crashes is going to work towards the aim in, and he drops 2. So an early 2-man advantage in favor here of Envy as they fall back into sight, close the door due to that Hunter's Fury.
Mame has to back off as the paint shells land right next to him. FNS lurking in that corner, able to pick up 1. Now Tens does have the op and the Blade Storm. Cyber Cage is going to go down, and Mummy gets a little bit of a sneak peek. There's a wallbang kill coming in the end. A flawless round.
Tough corner right now.
FNS, just looks the wrong way, and like you mentioned, the timing works out. There's the flash lead in as well. The blinds relics a bit. In that time, Food has picked off Mitch. Tens coming through the market, though. It's a quick pickup. They've got to deal with Food, who's on the back end of this play. Showstopper as well. A lot of ults being potentially thrown out here on the round. There's the Rolling Thunder coming in, but it misses Caboose, who now uses the Dismiss to get into position, but it's a quick shot from Tens. It puts everything on the remaining 2. Curveball not in the right spot, but it is this time for Tens with a blind shot. It's now down to the Spike Diffuser. He's stinging, and Tens with the jump shot. We've seen it played that way on this map times in the past. There's the explode onto the site with the Jet starting things off. Stuck inside the Cloudburst, and the flashes proved to be a little bit too much for them to deal with. Caboose is around the corner. It's Mummy with the backup from on high. Shinobi with a blind kill through the dark cover. Tens, and might be able to spot out these players in mid as well. It's all about the read. You've got Tens now about to expose himself to Caboose, and Caboose just takes the guaranteed kill. Gonna start going back towards the B side to try and group up with the rest of the squad. They don't even need his help, as Food and FNS go big on the defense all across the board. They're gonna have to start going into patterns. Cloud9 flag. Nice shot coming out from Mame to pick off Vice. It's a quick flick in, moving up catwalk, and a nice escape as well, as the awkward off-Omen player manages to escape. Now, Tens does not have the same luck. The Killjoy ult will at least open up the defense just a bit. It's going to shove them into hell, and Caboose is actually able to pick one off. He uses the Dismiss to get a little closer. Did they spot him at the last second? I thought maybe they saw it. There's the ult being popped. The answer is no. The rocket also misses, but it doesn't matter. They've managed to get onto the site, take down the defense.
10 seconds left.
About those last second executes. And it happens here as well. He's got to stick it, but he misses the first pulse. Had he hit that, he likely would have stopped the plant. Joy coming in on the backside, and we saw how good Mitch was in the pistol on attack, and he's doing it again.
One
with
enemy
Frenzy.
remaining.
Not that common of a purchase, but it's working out.
Swarm grenade
The
out.
swarm grenade goes down, and it's right behind the default box, but it actually doesn't go deep enough. As he got blinded by the paranoia at the attempt to throw, and there's a masterfully
Turret down.
has to lean back just a bit. Mitch trying to lay down damage. It's up there. You got it. Relics with the backup certainly makes it easier. Now he hits his stride with the pistol, but at that point the damage is already too much to overcome. We're down
One
to
player
two.
standing.
Tens is trying, but
Spike
the
planted.
Sheriff just getting out of control. Food runs in, hits the switch after flipping the switch on his ult. Mitch will get the openers though for Cloud9 as they cement themselves as defensive force to be reckoned
One
with.
player remaining.
It's down to just one.
Wow.
Despite all the effort, all that fluff and thrill coming in from Envy. Mitch in that same position he was in the last time that we saw Envy try to go for this push towards B. They've actually managed to make it up towards spawn, but FNS, who's kind of hanging that back,
Satchel out.
manages to get a couple of kills, and you can see them changing their plan off that. So it's just a game of rifles, and there's Shinobi picking up that first kill. Hot Hands does go down top stairs, coming in from Phoenix on site. They're just starting to work their way through. Tens with the
One
read.
enemy remaining.
Doesn't stand a chance, and now it's all on Trashy. He's snuck inside the dark cover. As great as a push it was from Envy to get onto the site after struggling to gather up mid control.
With the dark cover, and a dark cover covering the right side of the entrance just allowed Tens to move in towards that left side on that sidewalk and just dispatch everybody again. The wall bang, of course, is another thing that you don't like to see on the Envy side.
Like the way this ult comes through because it has a little bit more height than one might anticipate. He tried to spam through that wall, and it really wouldn't work out so well. Tens flies in with the knives out.
Dark cover covering the right side of the entrance just allowed Tens to move in towards that left side on that sidewalk and just dispatch everybody again. The wall bang, of course, is another thing that you don't like to see on the Envy side.
It's a little bit of work. Does take down Shinobi twice
Initiated.
with a quick response. Oh, I like the way this ult comes through because it has a little bit more height than one might anticipate. He tried to spam through that wall, and it really wouldn't work out so well. Tens flies in with the knives out. Yeah, that's
Big balls, and you got to give it for how he's calling it as the IGL for Envy. Because of that, when they had the blade storm come through, well, he got trapped by the trap wire on that retake, and that's how they're able to carry that kill. But this round, though, a trade after trade of 4 versus 4, but low HP on the defense is going to be Relic.
Not ready.
nice rocket coming out around the corner from Relics. Vice trying to dodge the pulses, but it's not working out so well. Caboose goes for the heal over the dismiss, and it backfires as he's dispatched of by Mitch. They're still trying to work their way onto the site, and Mitch is just anchored in the boathouse. Relics from distance. Let's get a kill onto Food. Missed shot, though. Oh, there you go. It's actually Food who falls there in the end. Food was the one that picked up
30
the kill
seconds
onto
left.
Relics.
So the flashpoints are coming through, but he has some support. Vice is trying to flashpoint back. He's the one that's flashpointing to actually try to hold the push from the
remaining.
who still manages to get the kill. Crash is falling right behind and to dismantle the defense actually on the B side. Thankfully nobody was there to trade off, but they're pushing aggressively for Envy inside this A side. Mitch is playing at the bottom here of Hell. There's an opponent just across the corner, but it gets dismissed away, and Mame moves forward. So somehow this is working out here for Envy with such an aggressive push towards the A side. Now Relics is just going to be the last man standing on a 4 versus 1. Does have a showstopper, but it's coming from that point, and it will. You know, there's got to be something going on because nobody has pushed out to get any information yet. So they're still playing it very cautious. And Mitch still manages to get the first kill. We're staying alive here for Cloud9 as they drop the first 2 towards his mid side, and Shinobi shadow steps away. So this is huge right now for Cloud9 to stay alive.
30 seconds
Envy
left.
has a 5-on-3 as they start to work their way into B. The spike's going to be planted, and Caboose has one hell of a flank. It's an easy kill onto Relics. A dismiss to get away. There was another target inside the market. It's Shinobi, but it's all falling apart. It's now down to just Shinobi, and what can he do? Takes out the first target. There's a Phoenix flying in with a flashbang just behind him. It will be Envy
Attackers
who
win.
take map number 1. Killjoy up in heaven. Reyna right by their side. Breach and Omen in sight, ready with the paranoia. There's the paranoia coming through. It's a great read coming out from Cloud9 as they crush this bush right off the bat. The remaining two members are like, yeah, nope, not having any of it. Caboose tries to go in and play tricks with the port, the shadow step.
Maybe able to just play the retake. Now Envy walks into a trap. Cloud9 takes the upper hand, and now into this round. Envy, second round, first round. They also like to stay as they're rushing inside. Mitch and Shinobi and Vice also hold their ground.
10's still here. 10's just feeling it. Decides to just get aggressive. Throws down the Lear as well. Will dismiss away just in case there's another looming threat, but there's not. Though they need to make a move, and they've still got Omen sitting on the site. Shinobi just has to play this one patiently and wait for them to peek. There's the first one, and that's pretty much the round over.
10 seconds
Paranoia
left.
goes a little bit too high. It goes over the head of Crashies, but those bullets don't. They go through the head. A serious nuisance for them as they try to work towards B. They're going to have to wait for the Nano Swarm to dissipate. Tens is waiting around the corner. It's a great flash to get some setup, and he's just going to stick around. Even though that healing ray gives away his position, he's stuck into the corner, and they don't even get a hard clear. Bot, though, puts a lot of pressure on Shinobi. Shinobi has to go big to watch the play coming up from ropes to give him the backup he needs. So Shinobi gets the first, and Shinobi finds the second. That's exactly what Tens needed. It's the backup he was relying on. First Lear's out, second Lear out as well. Mummy's stuck in the corner and needs some help, but he doesn't have any. Everyone's dead, and Shinobi
Trying to walk into the kill. He's got three players getting ready to counterattack.
Tens on site, playing Ring Around the Rosie. It's Rope-a-Dope currently coming in from Tens, but eventually he gets tired out. It's up to Vice.
Put up numbers for Envy as well, or certainly still practice past. They're 0-6 after Boost and Monday. Now the Blade Storms are coming out too, but Relics continues to hold his ground towards the A side as they are trying to push aggressively, falling off the Blade Storm. Some of the attackers are trying to push through, and Mame gets picked up there, and Shinobi dispatches him and go into the hands of Crashies as they're going to try to explode into the inside.
Nice cancel from Mitch as he stops that from happening. Takes down another target too as he goes for 180. The turret making it look easy right now.
30 seconds
The last
left.
remaining member is Food in mid, and 27 kills between two players in 8 rounds. It's absurd.
Exactly. That's the story there. It was just like, it's not necessarily them not letting their trust do this. Just look at that. It's how it's being set up. It's a flashpoint that's coming through from Vice. Tens comes out, gets 2 kills. Finally, Caboose.
A 360, a nice little casual 360. It's now the 1v1, as it's going to be the Raze battle. As you can see, his target gets blasted away. Look at the damage being dealt, though. Relics has this one very much under his control. The blast pack down. Just goes out deep. Relics in the same position, and ooh, Caboose! Great round coming out from Caboose. Tens. He's got targets waiting around the corner. Mitch starting to come through from A-ramp. Goes ahead and drops the ult. There's the showstopper, but he prevents the rocket from coming out. Yet again, Caboose goes for that ult, and it doesn't work. And now that Killjoy ult comes through and makes this so much more difficult for Mummy. He has to try to run. It's so well played from Cloud9.
Poppable for this first half at least. We'll see if the story changes once it's time, but right now it is the story of Tens.
Well, that's a little awkward as the fight doesn't really work out well for Cloud9. Thought for sure we'd see more than that with the way they just ran through the dark cover straight into a double setup. There's the Rolling Thunder popped as they try to make their way out.
Wow.
Somehow Mummy is able to make that one work. And they're still working their way onto the site, but Cloud9 fires back just like that. It's all down to FNS, and a large part of that is the Empress ult. 9 was making it difficult for them to do anything. Now they switch over, though, to the favored side. The problem is they can't make any mistakes. It starts out nicely for them with the pistol kill coming in from Mummy, and Caboose has some freebies. Either they're not looking or they're blind, one or the other. It's a free kill. You're starting to see the tendencies of the map illustrated perfectly here in the pistol. Very slow, patient play, for Cloud9. They peek their heads out, and they spot that first target. Now they know the jig is up. They realize that this is a force buy coming out from them. The flash comes through, crashes this blind flash, also delays them just a bit. The Moonbot, though, is going to trace his position, and just like that, they've gained up some sight control. The nade goes down, and it's a quick shot coming out from Vice. That should be FNS. So you've got Envy and a couple of players grouping up towards this A site, ready for the explosion that's about to come their way. There's the Lear through. Food steps into the dark cover, doesn't work out so well.
10 seconds left.
The flying kill coming out from Crashies, who's found another. And now it's all up to Mitch, who gets taken down on the back line.
Right after, so thankfully off of that, it's going to be the round coming in for Envy. And it's like a mixed buy now for Cloud9 with 10 small.
Inside the dark cover, there's the flashpoint
30
coming
seconds
out.
left.
Crashies is right around the corner, and that's the spike getting picked off from a distance. 25 seconds left, they need to make a move. Relics with a nice shot at least onto Crashies, but you've still got Food lurking on the site. A threat that is yet to be dealt with. He's been dinked now through the wall, but even Relic. But a two-man advantage for Envy. Shinobi gonna try and work his way in with just a pistol. There's one on the balcony and one just nestled up behind the box. There's Caboose sending in the Moonbot. It'll blow up actually right in the face of Caboose, but I love the confidence that you see brimming over for Caboose. Oh no, Crashies! I like that at least. He went for that initial peek, then hits the Rolling Thunder instead. Playing a little bit risky at first and then safe, but had he gotten that in the right order, it probably would have produced a serious success for him. Still seems to be working out initially as he finds an opener, but traded out by Mitch. So there's flexibility. And you can see that ult being called out as the spike is in the hands of Omen. I don't think it's going to make a difference though. Mummy is there, yep. Well read from Mummy as he goes cross-map lockdown. They've got the Rolling Thunder as well, but they don't have Shinobi, as the Omen was taken down by an aggressive play coming in from Mummy with the off. Flashed out of position is FNS though, and you've got Caboose still here back of sight. Somehow got a second one spamming through. Tens is at least there with a trade. Relics spots a target as he tosses a blast pack up. Careful as that ult is going to connect. He's trying to get away, but no, he gets detained because he got slowed. So there's two players actually detained. They're going to blast him out of position. It's an easy couple of kills for them to gain access to the site.
That is so unfortunate, but let's see what happens with the round now. With the attempt of a retake, only 2 players remaining. FNS, the first one to come out from the doorway. A Rolling Thunder here into the site. And gets out of position. There's that first kill, but didn't connect onto the second one. It's still up to Crashies. 3 versus 1, spots the first, Vice falls. Now towards the elbow, the crossfire is set up, but Relic gets that last kill, and we are moving into a third and final map.
As well as we kick off this pistol round and see how things are going to get going. Relics decides to fly in. It's awkward to say the least as he runs into everyone and can't quite make it work. The aggressive play being punished currently by Envy as Cloud9 wanted to take the battle to eventually finds the kill. The heal will help, but it won't take him up to full reach. Sitting below 50 HP as they group up now and come through into Hookah. They've actually managed to make this work. They've brought it down now to 2, and the Sova gets dropped down to just around 5 HP. Mummy's on site with a full boat, but he's got to be careful as the drone comes through. Look at the damage that's being dealt. Mummy's somehow still alive. Has to go to the sidearm as he's down out of ammo. And there it is. Cloud9 make it work. It starts with the shotgun, putting a nice little hole in the chest of that first attacker, and then they manage to, as being one of the strongest initiators because of the escapability. Well, 10 just illustrates that same trait with a character that also has a flash and a self-heal, as Tens escapes with the distance like he's done many times in the past.
Mitch is down to 61, but they're still converging in, but they're still holding their ground. Mitch now under heavy attack is forced to put down his ultimate lockdown, but they're all dropping like flies for on this rotation.
Entering into a lot of players currently waiting for them. Now Relics was up on top of the truck. They've got the paranoia prepared. It comes through, and yeah, the initial few just completely obliterated. Now Mummy does actually manage to spot Shinobi and take him down. Tens is here, and he's still shooting him away as the spike drops in an effort to try to get through.
Lamps again, but he could TP quite easily to pinch back later on when he gets
Joke's over! You're dead! It begins!
Well, there's the run it back being used as an opener. Caboose is going to charge in first. The flash was on the money, but for some reason pulls out the knife to jump around the corner. Bit of an interesting decision. Showstopper, and it's perfect, right on the money as Caboose gobbles up the rocket. Using that camera to get some intel. Look at the amount of utility out on the site from the Killjoy. The Nano Swarm does some damage as Mitch just starts spraying him down. Not able to finish off that third. That ult doesn't go off. We saw that a couple times, a couple of canceled ults for the Rays in the past. Vice from distance actually gonna land 2 pulses of the Hunter's Fury. That in through the box actually does connect. So now it's down to the one-on-one. They didn't get the spike to halfway. Fake port coming out. I like the move from Mummy. And he's just gonna start spamming through, but Vice reads it well, and Mummy runs out of ammo on the B site. As utility gets expended from both teams, there's the ult coming out from Mitch taken down. The ult's gonna get destroyed. There's still Shinobi to deal with, and the fight ends up going the direction, and it spirals back to Envy's favor. The nade comes out, but it's a little too late to stop the plant. Relics is swapped over to the up, and we'll see if that's gonna be enough.
But nonetheless, though, the Lurk is coming towards his B side. The entrants are right. It's a 4 versus 4 situation where Envy, they sort of have control of this fight. But the spike has now been dropped and traded off. You still have one lurking across. It's that Sova that actually
blinds Vice for days. Trying to look for him. Tapping. You can see that the points coming out, the pings on the spike. They're looking for him. He's not on it, though, for that initial kill. And he does. Now, I love what we're seeing as well on the other side. We've got Mitch now pushed up in mid, ready to get the flank, but we've got Caboose going in first. Curveballing through the nade and the curveball.
30
not really
seconds
gonna
left.
produce much success for them. Relics picks off one, trying to find a follow-up by way of Shinobi. Shinobi's found 2, and that's the spike planter going down 10s.
they actually play towards the front of the site instead. Pushing Relics, pushing Shinobi towards that front of the on them all the way back when they're trying to get the spike plant for the kill. This round, though, was just going to be them trying to push inside the A side without trying to go for any blaze roll, any type of plant control. It's just going to be another all-out brawl like they did.
They ended up winning against T1, and then against Destin, they lost it 3-9, and they still brought it back. So NB certainly has opportunity here, but no!
30 seconds left.
He waits almost a little too long, and it doesn't work out so well. Mummy's trying to get past that turret, the shock dart out in front of him. Won't make too much of a difference. Nice leer, but it is taken care of pretty quickly. Envy now down to just 2. Crashies with a nice pickup as they try to make their way out. Crashies gets 1. Relics times that first shot, and somehow Mummy gets caught looking the wrong way. As Relics is cleaning up currently in Hookah. Goes for that final kill, but not going to get it. Again, we talked about it in the first half. The rocket doesn't really do any damage. They do pick up the first on their attempted retake as Tens peeks out a little too wide from Cubby. Flash does at least blind them momentarily as they try to make their way out onto the site. Somehow they've gotten it down to a 2-on-1. It's all up to Food.
So far, it's looking to be in favor on paper of Cloud9 because of the weaponry that they have, and also from that entry kill as Caboose falls. And now they continue to wallbang, and FNS never saw that coming. Tens gets the wallbang, takes him down into another 5-on-2 with an open sight into B.
You should run.
That's a great move from Food to get into Hookah.
One player remaining.
And they're going to keep making their way out, but my God.
Playing towards the elbow. You cannot be any unluckier from the positioning you're at with the advantage. And even FNS falls down towards the garden and also the turret spotted the other one. Thankfully, though, we do have a running back, but an Omen teleporter as well. Caboose gets the kill onto Mitch. He's looking to stay alive now, and Shinobi goes for the full from the shadows outside Hookah. Where is that? That's a 1 versus 1 now. Hunter's Fury still available. We have to go for that defuse, and it's going to be nearly impossible for them to get it for Cloud9, and Crashes gets the defuse.
And that's in case they decide to jump out, but that makes it a little bit too easy there for Vice to take down Crashies. There's still positions being given away. The Emperor's ult has been popped, and it's now a 3-on-2 with numbers advantage for Cloud9. The spike going down. Mummy has made it into Hookah. With 10 seconds left, the spike touches pay dirt. Shots coming out through the dark cover puts Mummy down on a 5 HP, and that puts a lot of pressure on FNS to save the day. The Nano Swarm making it that much harder for FNS to move into position, and now the Hunter's Fury as well. Nothing can be done. Cloud9 moves things out 13-5 over Envy, and they will be our #1 seed moving into the closed qualifiers next week.